It's 2020, and believe it or not, some agents are still prospecting, like it's 1990. So why are they prospecting? Because they think everyone and anyone is their prospect. But is that true? Not really. That's the wrong approach to do. Why is that? Because the thing is that not everyone is your prospect, for the simple fact that people love to buy, but people hate to be sold, right? So just put yourself out of your real estate shoes and imagine that you are out there at a shopping center, Paragon, for example, and you want to buy a suit, you want to buy a coat set, right? So you look around, you browse through, you look at this, you look at that, you look at that, and then maybe you like that color of the suit. Then you decide to buy the suit, right? And suddenly a new salesperson approaches you and he says, he tries to sell you very, very hard, try to sell you ties, but you're not there to buy ties, right? You were there to buy suit. And suddenly here comes this hard selling salesman and he says that, oh, I got this collection, I got that collection of tie that will look very good with your suit. But the thing is that you don't want tie, you want suit, and yet that person is pestering you, keep asking you to buy again and again and again, asking you to buy a tie, and you don't want it. What do? So, if you are a normal person, are you going to enjoy listening to the sales pitch, or you're like most people, you would run away? I think you will run away, right? And yet, why do we still have property agents doing the same thing, who run away from hard selling salesperson, because property agents are salespersons themselves, right? Why are property agents running away from other hard selling persons, salesperson, yet doing the same thing, hard selling to other prospects who don't need their services? In other words, why do something to others what you don't like yourself to be done to you, right? So here's the thing: why is that happening? It's because of the old mindset. Property agents are stuck in the old mindset, and the old mindset says that everyone is a prospect and you must do prospecting. So that's the wrong approach. And it's not your fault, it's not the fault of majority of property agents, because the the real reason is you see everyone around you prospecting, your upline, your manager, your sideline, all your colleagues, everyone and anyone you hear of is prospecting. So prospecting becomes a way of life for you. It becomes a way of doing sales, how to be a property agent. It becomes a culture. It becomes a rite of passage. So in order for you to become a property agent, you believe that you must do prospecting, right? So what I realized all those years ago is this simple secret that I'm going to share with you, right? The simple secret is that pursued prospects run away. And the first time I realized is back in 2008 when I was still a property agent myself, was when I looked at Mama Ismail, the CEO of PropNext. I realized that he wasn't busy chasing new business all the time. He was busy servicing his clients. And that made me realize that that was the reason why his clients referred him more. And that made me go aha, and I was like, wow, it's an aha, it's a new realization, and it's like an epiphany that I had. And I realized that it's true. The reason in those days, the reason I was struggling had nothing to do with the fact that I was a new agent. I had low product knowledge, I had no previous experience. It had nothing to do with that, but it had to do with the fact that most of the time, in fact 90% of the time, I was chasing prospects. I was chasing new business. And when I had clients coming in, I wasn't doing a good enough job of servicing those clients. So I had no referrals from those clients. And it was a vicious cycle. It was again and again and again and again. I found myself doing the same old thing. And what is the answer? How to stop prospecting? Because you must realize that today, nowadays, everyone is online. Why do you need to do cold calling? Why do you need to do prospecting when you can easily reach out to your prospect, to your potential buyers, to your potential sellers online? Even primary school kids are online right now. And I was surprised the other day, I was passing by a primary school after, the school was over, and I saw the majority of them had handphones, and during my time when we were growing up, none of us had handphones, right? And even if we had handphones, they were ugly, chunky Nokia phones, right? And that was only when I was in JC, junior college, that I was able to own my first mobile phone. But right now in primary school, you see they have iPhone, they have Apple smartphones from such a young age, and their phones are so big they can see any, they can watch videos, they can see movies, they are on Facebook, they are on Twitter, they are on Instagram, they are everywhere, they are on TikTok. So you see all the prospects, the entire world is shifting online, yet we property agents are still doing the old school way. We're still doing the old, last century way, which is prospect, 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 and assume that everyone is a buyer, yet, you know ignore the fact that you yourself as a salesperson, when you are not a salesperson, you go back home, you try to buy something else, you run away from other salespeople, right? And you keep falling into the trap of prospecting. So the answer to how to stop falling into this trap of prospecting is very simple: reverse prospecting. So reverse prospecting is a new way, it is the latest way, and the latest way is to get the prospect to chase you rather than you are the one going after them. Get the prospects to chase you. So how do you do that? You can do this in a number of ways. So is the number one of the ways you can do that is you become an information provider. The you give a service, you give an information that the buyers or sellers want, and you give it to them. And then another way is that you offer a solution to a problem that the market wants, and then you offer it to them. And then you repackage your services as a realtor in a very compelling way, and the buyers and sellers will come to you. That's how you get a very long, line of future business pipeline. You build a pipeline of all the prospects who come to you, come to you, come to you, and that is the only way right now. Reverse prospecting.